Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Halloween, everybody. Grab your coffee. I'm just sharing this around. Sounds good, baby. Hi, baby. It's almost my baby's birthday. November 2nd. It's coming, guy. You gonna be 50, Lee. 50. You gonna be 50. 50, 50, 50, 50. 50 cent? That's what we said, 50 cent. Yes, my baby is going to be the big old 50. Good morning, Rosie. I see you. Let me do this so I can see what's going on. So come on and say hello, okay? I'm putting my phone down here in case my computer goes crazy. Let me know that you're here. I've shared this all around. I've shared this to the Onward group, to the Team Onward group, to my customer VIP group, and on my Onward with Molly, Cooking with Molly page. So good to see people popping on. This is the Tuesday morning. Basically, it's kind of my thoughts, how I how I deal with things, and a lot of the ways I deal with things now, of course, is bringing God into it. Because when I don't bring God into things, what happens is I go a little crazy. I go a little cray cray. And sometimes when you leave me to my own devices, it is not cool at all. Tiffany's on. Hi, Tiff. Finally caught you live again. Love these lives more than chocolate cake, but not the last minute chocolate cake. That stuff is the best. Girl, my chocolate cake. Midnight run chocolate cake. You haven't had that, have you? Oh, Tiff. Tiff, Tiff, Tiff. I know it's not all that healthy, but girl, everybody need a little sin in their life, and my chocolate cake would be a little sin for sure. So good to see you on here, Tiff. I know you're excited because your girl's coming home for Thanksgiving. So excited about that too. Hello, Luana. Yeah, please, everybody say hello. So why do I do this? I do this because one, God wouldn't leave me alone about it and said, girl, I gave you this journey. I gave you these examples. I got you through these things in your life. I have brought you through 60 years of things that people think it only happens to me. And in reality, that could not be further than the truth. It happens to a lot of us. People just don't talk about it, right? There are things that you go through. There are insecure thoughts that you have. There is anger that you have. There is hurt. There is anxiety. And I got to tell you, I can't think of anything that I just said that I have not experienced. And by the way, keep kind of experiencing it. The difference is I'm handling a little bit different now. I'm trying to stop being that control freak. How many years in my life have I heard the whole let go and let God, right? And everybody goes, "Oh yeah, I'm doing that. I'm leaving them to God. I'm leaving them to their own devices. I'm doing that." But yeah, really you don't, because it's when it's all you're talking about, it obviously is in your brain. And people, especially in this day and age, can be really hurtful. They can be they can be toxic. I know people don't like saying that. But people can be toxic in your life. And sometimes they can be people that you don't really even expect to be toxic either, or you're thinking people who shouldn't be toxic, right? Like you shouldn't view them. Sue Ann says, please pray. Our bathroom isn't finished and we are down to one car. Sue Ann, yeah, I saw the pictures on the bathroom thing, girl. So, see, Sue Ann's like my soul sister. Like every time she get through one trial, like another child come up. Like, girl, I so get you, right? But I think that what's really great for Sue Ann is she never gives up. And 100% of the time so far in her life, she has gotten through every struggle. that has come upon her. And I love that. I love to hear when it's all done, or when God has finally showed her what the direction is. I love it. It's snowing and the heat is on and the roof over our head. We are blessed. And you know what, Sue Ann? That's what God looks for. He looks for, look, we all have things going on. We all have losses in our life. We all have bathroom problems. Shoot, I had a really bad leaky toilet like not too long ago, and we didn't even know where it was coming from. We kept seeing the water, and they came and they fixed it. But I got to tell you, praise God, because our water bill went down this month because we fixed that. Luckily, it started showing itself. So, yes, they are just potholes. Drive fast enough and you fly over some of them. Unless you're me, Sue Ann. And what happens is I see them and I don't know what happens. And see, I want to control it. So I try to put on the brakes, girl. And before you know it, our heads hitting the roof, and and then I say things I shouldn't say, and I don't understand why they don't fix the potholes. And again, I just go down this rabbit hole, which is not a good rabbit hole to be down. But you are right, 100%. Let me go back here. Hi, Charlene. How are you? Good morning. And yes, happy trick or treat day for sure. Happy trick or treat day. Let me see here. What else do we have? I don't want to miss. This past weekend, I lost my BFF. Oh, wow, Rosie. Of 50 years, Pam. My heart is so broken. She was only 65 years young. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. I'm still reading this. And I wanted her to grow old with me. Rosie, here is the only word of advice I have for you on that. Some people in their lives have never, ever, ever had the experience of a BFF. They have never had a ride or die in their life. They've only had people who have been in their life for seasons. And you were blessed with somebody, wow, who you rode, it sounds like, a good portion of life with. You had a BFF, somebody and I'm sure she left you with so much. So what I will tell you is, it's hard. Loss is hard. I don't have to tell you. You've been there before. But what I'm going to tell you is, what she's left you with is going to come to light, my friend, eventually, once the sadness and the mourning and the pain, once that dulls just a little, you're going to be able to take every precious moment, my friend. And it's going to serve you well, maybe to be friends with a new BFF. You never know. So God bless you, and I will be praying for your heart, your hurt heart. And I am sure that she is up there. And if she were here right now, she'd say, girl, don't you cry for me. Everything we had, you share that with people. You share with people what we had. I am sure she would want you just to do the best of the best with what you guys had. So that's, wow. I'm sorry, but wow. That's huge. Hi, Quentin. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you. Let me see. I'm trying to see. Don't break or swerve, praise God, while on the road. I know, Sue Ann, but I'm the person who does. I suddenly want to take control. You know how I always say, Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, take the whole car. Girl, but I'm the one putting on the brakes. And he shows me, see, when you put the brakes on like that, Molly, you trying to control. You stop it. Hi, Miss Stephanie. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Yes, a happy Halloween. I have to tell you, I'm so excited for the kids coming tonight. We got the candy ready. I'm going to fix some shrimp cakes tonight. One is turned into an all-time favorite, even for my family when my family is around. But yes, you've heard of crab cakes, but I make shrimp cakes, and they are amazing, and we put them on really soft rolls with an Old Bay mayonnaise that I make homemade. Just so good. Shannon's on here. Okay, guys, I'm gonna tell you about somebody right now, and don't go following her and don't go scaring her away. Oh my gosh. So Miss Shannon is new in our life, but she has been a bright light and a blessing. And I've only been able to spend just a little bit of time with her. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that when she met me, I wasn't like makeup and hair done. She met me at my worst, right? But she met me cooking. So that's my best, right? Y'all know me who know me. That's my love language, you know. So Shannon is Anthony, my youngest aunt's girlfriend. And she is just the sweetest thing. I don't even know how to say it. She caught me in a couple of bad moments where, I don't know what got into me, but she was right there and I was speaking my heart. Oh my gosh. And can I tell you, what's funny is when your kids have been through bad experiences and bad relationships and what happens as a mom is you are gun shy because you almost want to protect them. But as a mom, knowing that my son is 30 years old, I have got to let him walk his journey. I have got to let him walk through mistakes. I have got to let him make bad decisions. I have got to let him do things. And do you know why? It will lead them to the place they need to be. When you wonder, why are you walking this journey? Why do you have to go through this? I look at the bad relationships that my son has had, but to look at him now with this precious soul, Shannon Evans, my son is happier than I have ever seen him. Yes, Lee just put that. I've never seen him this happy. That doesn't mean they won't have their issues. That doesn't mean they won't have their fights. That doesn't mean they're not going to disagree because, Lord, have you seen me and Lee? Oh my gosh. But Shannon, I think I told you, but if I haven't, thank you. Thank you for bringing joy into not just Anthony's life, but into our lives. And by the way, she gifted me with this amazing Starbucks cup that I have used probably 5 or 6 times since I've been back home. Amazing. Okay. Love it. Love it. Love. Take my iced coffee in the morning when I go out door dashing, the whole 9 yards. And my flower's still blooming, Shannon. So, and I look at it every day. It sits by my recliner. So, mwah, love you. Thank you. Okay, yes, Charlene, thank you for being her, and that's who she is. She's funny, she's witty, she takes no crap off of my son. She came in, she sat down, and she fit right in, and I have to tell you, that is an amazing, amazing thing when somebody can just come in, and you're like, where's that piece to that puzzle? Where did that go? And all of a sudden, the door opens, and you go, there it is, it fits. So we are just really, really happy. So let's get let's get on with this before I get teary eyed, and I'm not sure if I wore the waterproof makeup, so we're just gonna move on. Okay, I don't know if I did that with mascara. I'll be having my own Halloween, the weeping mama, with the black mascara. That's what it will be if I do not move over. Okay, so this is a good thing. So okay. So let's move on. So the topic of this really is, you don't like me. We all deal with that. Have you ever been plagued or taunted with like toxic thoughts? I mean, I have. I'm 60 years old, guys, and sometimes my own thoughts about my own self or my own life or what others think about me have been toxic for me, like this internal sewage running through my Charlene. She comes from a large family. I haven't met any of them. But yeah, actually she has a twin sister. She does. But I think that twin sister is taken. Okay, so we all need to be starting no rumors here. Okay, just saying. I'm still learning about her family. I've learned a little bit from Anthony, and but really all I need to know is who she was when she showed up. And she was wonderful. So I'm really, really, I feel blessed. So, okay, let's get back to toxic. So sometimes I feel like I have this internal sewage running in me. Somebody else is, maybe in business, somebody else is killing it and you feel like you're not. Maybe you feel like, somebody else has the perfect body. Okay. I mean, I am somebody who I have struggled with body image for most of my life. Never thin enough, never pretty enough. Um, so what did I do? I went on the fact that I just love people and my humor. I laugh about everything. And sometimes when I'm laughing, have you ever been the person who laughs on the outside, but you feel like you're crying on the inside? Yeah, that was a lot of my life. And sometimes I still trip and I sometimes go back there. Hey, Raj, good to see you again. Yay, Raj. Raj, that's 2 weeks in a row, my friend. That's 2 weeks in a row. I love it. Um, so if you are that person, I want you to know you're not alone. You're not alone. That these are things that happen. Everybody has a way to cover up there, but there's sometimes it's our fault because we keep we keep the negative a lot longer than we keep the positive. And we need to change that. We need to change the dialogue that we talk to ourselves. And we also need to quit creating scenarios that are not truly as we are seeing them. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they are. And the toxic that you need to get away from is what is happening. But sometimes you are making assumptions. Sometimes you are just, I know exactly what's going on. I know how that person is. I know that in my business in Avon, I watch it with having so many people, 17,000 representatives in my group of reps all over the nation and Canada. And I have to tell you that what I watch is they all seem to think sometimes, not all of them, but a lot of them, because they don't hear from their leader, they think, oh, well, I'm not important enough. Because their leader doesn't call them all the time. Oh, they're not. And what they don't realize is that leader probably has 1,000 people on their team. I know for me alone, we're 600 and something people on my team all throughout the U.S. And when I say to them, have you tried to reach out? Well, no, they're the leader. They should be. No, 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 no. Have you tried to reach out? If there's something you need and you've been given a leader, have you tried to reach out? Have you tried to establish the relationship? Have you tried to make things better? So all kinds of ways to go with this. Sometimes you can get really angry about something that's going on in your company, but the truth of the matter is, if you can't control it, then why are you letting yourself stay angry? Why are you bringing that toxicity into your life? It doesn't make any sense. And the reason I say that, guys, is because I've done the same thing at times. I'm not talking about anything that I have not done. See, that's a great thing about Tuesdays with Mama Molly. It's a great thing because if I'm talking about it, I've probably been there. And if I'm talking about it, I've probably screwed up. And if I'm talking about it, it's because in 60 years I have messed up so much that I finally realized that this journey of mine, this sharing of mine, is absolutely because God brought me through the journey. He brought me through every problem. He brought me through everything that, I don't know, everything that I thought was going to define me, it didn't define me. The truth is, it didn't define me. I thought it was defining me. I was letting it define me, but I had all the power to say, I'm not going to let this bad thing put a scarlet letter on my chest. I'm not. I'm going to be better. But me trying to be better on my own never really worked too well. Because on the outside it could look like, oh, I'm just doing great. And in the end, on the inside, I was one big ball of anxiety. Have you ever been there? Guys, I suffer with anxiety on a lot of days. I don't even know why on some days. Have you ever had anxiety pop up and you're like, okay, what brought this on? What brought this on? What brought this on? I don't understand. Why am I anxious? Why is my heart rate up? Why is this going on? Why is my chest feeling tight? Why are all these things happening to me again? And a lot of times I'm the person who tells you that I believe that a lot of times in my anxiety, I would just go shut down. And when I would shut down, there was no way for God to use me if I chose to shut down during my anxiety, which could be for hours, it could be for 30 minutes, it could be for a half a day. But when I decided to do what Philippians 4 6 through 8 says, and when I claimed this, and this is one of my verses that I claim during my anxiety, do not be anxious about anything. I know that's hard. That's such a hard statement. I'm like, God, what do you mean? Don't be anxious about everything. Do you see my heart rate on my Fitbit? Do you see the fact that I'm like feeling like I'm getting ready to like talk in front of like 80,000 people? You know, I mean, what is going on here? I feel like everybody is watching me. I feel like everybody knows I have the anxiety. And the truth of the matter is, it's me. And it's also, I believe the devil doesn't want me at that point, maybe to meet somebody I should meet. There was a time when I was living in Maryland that my first panic attack happened about 36 hours after my brother Michael died. I don't know why. Now, I know I've had anxiety, but I'm talking about a full rollout panic attack. Like I knew I was dying. I was by myself in a car in the rain, had to get myself over and had to pull into a parking lot and had to call my husband and say, I need you to bring Ann, I need Ann to bring you to me because I think I'm dying. I think I knew I was dying. And I'm sitting here thinking, my brother just died. And God, this is it? Now you're just going to take me like that. I tried so hard to get him through such a bad point in his life. And now? And now this is going to happen. I didn't know it was a panic attack. I know one thing. For anybody who has a panic attack, I need you to know I feel you and they are real. Don't you let anybody, because if you haven't had one, you don't know. You don't know because me having anxiety now, do you know what my go-to is? Woo! I'm feeling the anxiety, but I'm really glad it's not a panic attack. I was Ubering then in Maryland, and it was raining one night, and I cried. I told Lee, I don't want to go. I know we need the money. I don't want to go. And I said, but I know I need to. And somebody had sent me a heart, a weighted anxiety pillow. And what the people who didn't know, who were riding in my Uber, what they didn't know is that I would have that pillow by my side and I would squeeze it so hard with my arm to my body that I swear I was going to push it right into me. Um, and I remember one night I went to pick up a lady who was, and talking to her, she was a counselor in school for kids. And I don't know what made me ask her, but I said to her, I said, oh, you're a counselor in school. I said, let me ask you, do you ever have to deal with anxiety with the kids? And this was a high school. And she says, oh my goodness, all the time. And so I started sharing with her. I don't know why. I started sharing with her. I said, I had my first ever panic attack and it scares me now to drive. I said, here I am. I feel myself getting anxious even with you in the car and it's raining. So I had triggers. I had rain because it happened when it was raining and I was driving. And I said, but I'm just trying to power through. And she said, Molly, you are doing the best thing you can do. She goes, let me tell you something about panic attacks. She said, the very worst panic attack you will ever have will be the very first one because you don't know what's going on. You have no clue what's happening to you. And she said, but because once you realize that was a panic attack, even if you had another one, it will never be as bad as the first one. She says, and then you start learning how to manage it. You start, is it music that manages it? Is it praying that manages it? She says, but you have to keep going, Molly, or it will own you. So she said, you being out here in the rain, driving me, She said, this is you saying, no, I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to let you rule me. And you may still feel it, but you're getting through it. If I had not gone out to Uber that night, that lady would have never given me those words. And I needed to hear them. I needed to know that I could get through it. I needed to know that if I just kept pressing, I was going to be okay. I remember that Lee and I were delivering orders one time shortly after this, and I had to pull into the Mechanicsville library because I had to get out of the car. And I just told Lee, just sit here, just sit in the car. And I remember it was really, really cold outside. And I just got out and I started walking around the library parking lot. And I'm praying, God, please, you got to help this. You got to help this. You got to do this. And for some reason, the cold air felt really, really good on my face. And eventually it calmed down and I got back in the car and I continued with what we were doing. Every single push back to that anxiety, every single push back to what was trying to entrap me, even if I only made a half a step, it was going to work in my favor. So now I'm at this point where, yes, I know when I have an anxiety attack, and I immediately am like, okay, Molly, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to bring this back down? Because anxiety, in my opinion, it can be exhausting, but it's a whole lot better than panic. Because panic, you think you're dying. That's what I will tell you. If you want to know the difference, that's the difference. Sometimes this anxiety thing, and I mean, and I'm not cutting on it, but I just feel like they've got so many different anxieties now. Let me tell you something. I know that there are doctors and there are specialists out there who are given every stinking name to every different type of anxiety. Let me be real with you. Anxiety is anxiety. And it can happen anywhere at any time for no apparent reason. And I sometimes feel like labeling things, that label will sit on you like a scarlet letter. Like, okay, yeah, I have anxiety. I'm human. Okay, but I'm going to beat this. Quit labeling me with the fact that I have to be this way the rest of my life because I don't have to. God gives me room to improve. And does that mean that I still fall down? Whoo, sometimes every single day. But don't label me as the person who's going to have social anxiety. Don't label me with the person where you're going to have food anxiety. You're going to have this anxiety. You're going to have that. Anxiety, it's going to grab you. And when it grabs you, it's just anxiety. And let me be clear, it all feels the same. Maybe they want to charge you more money because you're being treated for a certain anxiety. And the point is, it's real. We're not making light here. Yes, Lee, absolutely. I have anxiety, but I am not anxiety. Do not label me. Do not put a roadblock in front of me that says I'm going to deal with this the rest of my life because I believe that you can continually be better. You can continually reach forward. People go, oh, I can't talk. I can't talk to this person. I can't do that. Let me be very clear. You are the one who is going to choose. Hi, Jess, my daughter-in-law's on here. Hi, baby. How is my Cam, the man, and my little Sonny boy, my granddog. I got a granddog now, y'all. I haven't told you that. I haven't shared it yet, but I will. When I go up and have pictures, I will share. Hi, Mary Becker. Yes. So anxiety, you can let it label you. You know what I tell people, whether it's a death or whether it's a sickness or whether it's a feeling, anger, all of these things that we feel, there's nothing wrong with emotions. God gave us emotions. Jesus had emotions. We get all that. We are made in his image. God could be sad. God can be mad. He can be proud. He was anxious. You think Jesus wasn't anxious when he knew he had to get on that cross? Are you kidding me? Anxiety, that was probably a full-blown panic attack when he was crying in that garden saying, please, God, is there any way, Father, that this can pass from me? Any way? And he was so anxious that he was sweating drops of blood. You don't think that he didn't know what anxiety was? But my Jesus cowboyed up. He said, there are souls out there that need to be saved. Do not let, do not let things label you and hold you down. You need to constantly be fighting against the toxic, the anxiety, the anger, the way you hold on to things. This whole thing with anger, and you want to manipulate people because you want to use them now because you feel wronged by them. Ain't none of that gonna make you better, okay? Ain't none of that gonna make you better. Mary said Haley had severe anxiety for a while, and it was amazing when we took her phone away for a month, it went away. She was letting all of that overwhelm her and found peace by removing it. Mary, can I just tell you, thank you for posting that. I absolutely, hey, Miss Lori, good to see you. I absolutely believe that social media, it can be good, it can be a great tool, but I believe that social media is horrible for our kids, because I can't look being social in school in my day. We thought that was hard when we were dealing with bullying and things like that. But now social media, because keyboard bullies are the absolute worst, but they're also the biggest cowards too. So if you're one of those people who go at people behind the keyboard, I'm here to tell you, Mama Molly says you a full blown coward, because 9 times out of 10, what you're typing behind that keyboard, behind that screen, you would never say to the person that you're talking to there. You know why? Because they probably knock you out. That's why. And if that were my kid doing that, I got to tell you something. My kid wouldn't see social media forever. My kid would, they definitely would have a blistered behind. Okay? Okay? They would, because that's not cool. I think one of the biggest things I always loved about Anthony when he was in school, there were kids there who were, of course, they were challenged, and some of them were in wheelchairs, and some of them, there were some with multiple sclerosis, and there were so many kids. And even though Anthony was on the football team, and by the way, Anthony had his own struggles, right? But when Anthony saw somebody picking on those kids in wheelchairs, whatever that looked like, let me tell you something. My boy, he stepped right up. And when he saw them and they wanted to say hi to them, he gave them a moment of his time, and he did it willingly. He did it. He had a heart that said, you need to stop it. These people need to feel our love. They don't need to feel us making fun of them. They don't need to feel us, because that could be your brother in that wheelchair. That could be your sister in the wheelchair. That could have been your mom that was born. It could have been anything. It could happen to you. It could happen to somebody you love. And here you are, because you got something going on in your life that you're angry about, and you want to pick on the little guy? Really? That's toxic. Anthony wasn't having any part of that, and I can remember the stories. He would come home, and I don't even remember the kids' names, but I remember him telling me, and I remember praying, please God, let him keep this heart. Let him keep this heart in a bad world. Let him keep this and always be the person who wants to be there for what we would consider the underdog, because every underdog needs a hero to help them put their cape on. And Anthony has always been that person. So let's talk. What are the thoughts that you can have? The toxic. He has such a big heart because his mama and his family and God showed him what's right. Shannon, yep, he does. He does. Every time I think about the fact of how impatient that Anthony is, and he's gotten so much better, but he still has an impatience thing. And his older brother, Earl, oh my gosh, he's impatient too. This is how they want things. They want things to be better like this. They want things to happen like this. They want success to happen like this. They want everything to happen like that. They do. And I'm not going to say they don't get a little of that from me, okay? Probably some from their daddy too, but I'm just saying. But they have gotten better. But every now and then they'll come up and I'll be like, stop it. Stop it. Calm down. It will come as it should come. Just keep working towards it. That's the truth. And they have learned that. But you know what I realized? Just like with me, sometimes it comes with age. Sometimes it comes with going through the experience. So maybe some of the thoughts you have are, here's some that I put down. You're not liked. Who are you to think you could do that? This is you talking to yourself. Let's be clear. Hi Tam, good to see you. What makes you think that you could do that? And by the way, sometimes that comes from the people you've had in your life who say that to you. Let's talk about business. What you think that you can build a business? Oh, that's a joke. And then they laugh, like it's funny or they were just funning with you. There's no funning. That's a toxic statement. If you want to build a business, you can build a business. If you want to be a better mom, guess what? You work on it every day because mom being a mom is crazy. I know. I got two boys, 30 and 37. It was not fun all the time. It was not fun all the time. I should have gray hair. Okay, I should have gray hair. But you know what? I wanted to be a better mom, and it was a learning experience. And can I tell you that my kids can tell you to this day all kinds of ways that I messed up. This is the remarkable thing. I've learned how to own them. And those times I've had to go back and go, I need to apologize to you. This was going on in my life and I just took this out on you. Mom, sorry. I'm not sorry for calling you out on something. I'm sorry about the way I did it because I didn't have to be that angry. There was more behind what I did. It's really hard as a parent to know sometimes you have to go apologize to your kids because your life is so screwed up in so many areas that it's like kicking the dog. He did this wrong, so I'm going to yell at him now, give him extra yells because my life sucks right now. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool, but we're all guilty of it, right? We are all guilty of it. Why did you say that? Everyone thinks you're annoying. Your kids just illustrated every inadequacy you have as a mom. So when your kids get it wrong and you're a mom, you know the first thing I did? How did I mess up? I should have done something different. I should have put more God into their life, but at that time I was so angry with God that I didn't do things that would be beneficial to them. I screwed up because I didn't do some things differently. Let me enlighten you. It's going to happen. But as long as you're breathing, and as long as your kids are breathing, you can turn it around and be better. When they diagnosed me with cancer, who would have known? I mean, all of this happening during the pandemic, waiting 6 months for the surgery. I was a hot mess. You talk about anxiety. But in the meantime, I found my place with God again through that. See, he never left me. The problem was me. And I remember that when the kids found out how it was found, that they weren't even looking for cancer. I had no symptoms. I have a fatty mass that's still to this day on my side. They thought it was gone, but it reappeared, right? I call it my trophy of bringing me to where I am now, and it's a reminder of where God has brought me every single day. Along with this little worry mark you'll see that I have here. This is an age spot, but that did not come about until I spent all those months worrying about what my outcome was going to be and was God going to have me check out. And I remember that when it was found, and then of course we went through everything and the boys came down and the surgery and the end result was great. It was cancer. They got it all. They took a portion of my kidney. The kidney's 100% rejuvenated now. Y'all know, you've been following me all this time. You know the story. But both my boys, through that experience, said, nobody will ever convince me that God wasn't in that, Mom. We realized God was real when we saw you be diagnosed with something that they shouldn't have even caught. The doctor said to me, you wouldn't have even started having issues or symptoms maybe for 7 years, and by that time we may have had to take your whole kidney. This is divine intervention. And I remember them to this day. God is very real. Mom, we don't believe God's done with you because he allowed this to be found. and you're going to be better than ever. And because of that, my kids are on their own journey right now, finding their own relationship with God. So, see, even if you got it wrong in the younger years, don't think that it's too late to be better and to open up your heart to God and things. Yeah. And think that it can impact not just my sons, but you don't know the tens of thousands of people who were praying, who gave. I had no insurance. The bill was paid. The family that showed up. You don't know God can use this person, this hot mess, who has gotten so much wrong in life. But I'm breathing, and it's never too late to get it right. The mom who thinks she'll never be a good mom because of what you came from. The young lady who says, I don't want to have a baby because I'm scared I'll be the same person that I was raised with. You have the choice to be different. You have the choice to end the cycle. You have the choice to stand up and be the best mom, the best daughter, the best son, the best friend that you could be. But you can't do that if you have toxic thoughts about yourself. Why do we let such destructive, self-inflicted words just rule our souls? Toxic thoughts are so dangerous because they leave no room for truth. They leave no room for growth. And in the absence of truth, lies stand up. When you are constantly lying to yourself, hey, Michelle, when you're constantly lying to yourself, telling you how you're not good enough, telling you how you don't deserve this happiness, telling you that you don't need anybody, telling you that you're not pretty enough, that you need to lose 15 more pounds, that maybe you need to have dental work done. I mean, I've heard it all, and by the way, I've been there with all of it. When you are the person who is inflicting that on yourself, I need you to know where you take the truth out about what is true about you, the fact of who you are and that you are here for a purpose. God makes no mistakes. You're exactly who you are meant to be, but it is your choice if you choose to flourish or you choose to fade. That's not God making that decision, and quit letting people tell you that. Quit letting people tell you you cannot be better. You can be better. You must choose. Just like if you want God in your life, He doesn't make you have Him. You must choose Him. If you want to be saved, if you want heaven, you'll need all that other stuff. Oh, well, Molly, I think I'm a good enough person. You're not a good person. Let me be clear. This isn't toxic. This is true. None of us are good people. We're all sinners, okay? We all gonna go back and do something again. But when He jumped on that cross, right? When He got up there willingly, a choice, and He died for you, and He died for me, and then He rose again the third day. Let me be clear. He did that so you could choose Him. It's not about how many times you say prayers. It's not about the fact that you give to the needy. It's not about any of that. It's about receiving Him as your Lord and Savior and realizing that you may still be toxic to yourself, but guess what? He's a forgivable God. And if you stay in His grace, because He offers it so freely, He's going to tell you, you are exactly who I made you to be. Take your strongest assets and go forth and touch somebody else's love. Go love people with what you have. Go build that business. Go marry that person. Go be that mom. Go be that teacher. Go be that person who gives in church. Go be the person who wants to go out and help people, but do it knowing that you've chose it, because this is a choice. You choose to be toxic or you choose not to. We need to focus on holding our thoughts to a higher standard because you deserve more. How dare those runaway thoughts be allowed to just parade into your life and manipulate you into feeling insecure, inadequate, maybe misunderstood, and how much trouble we invite into our lives based on assumptions. Well, this is what God has to say about it. Let me read you this. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, not the ones you just think are important, in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving. Thank you, Lord, for what you have given me. I know I'm talking about what I don't have, Jesus, but thank you for what you have given me. Present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, listen to all this positive, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Hey, Giselle, good to see you. Think about he doesn't say think about the 15 pounds that you see when you sit down and you're slouching a little bit and you're like, oh gosh, I got another pouch there. No, he doesn't. You know what he says? Thank God you can still get up and you can go for a walk even though you have that pouch. Yeah, yeah. Thank God. Let me tell you something. My hair started thinning for a good while after the pandemic and the surgery, stress, all of that. And you know what? I was like, I need to quit worrying about what I don't have anymore. And I need to say, there are some people who don't have hair right now. There are some people going through chemo. There are some people who just don't have hair, period, whatever it may be. I got some hair. I'm loving what I have, and I'm not going to complain about it because Jesus has allowed me to have something. It may be crazy, you know what I'm saying? But it's all right because I'm the lady with crazy hair. You all know that. We need to keep in mind those things that are positive, noble, true, lovely, pure, admirable. This is probably a passage that I'm sure that you've read before, but I think the problem is with the Bible, we read a whole lot, but we don't apply it. We don't apply it. I know he says think about things that are pure, but you don't understand. I have the big zit right here and I just got rid of the zit here. Or I swear that dress looked good on me 6 months ago, but right now I got the extra pooch and it's not looking so good. Girl, Spanx, okay? Just put on a pair of Spanx and be grateful that you can get up, get dressed, zip that zipper, and go out and have a good time. Stop thinking about the negative because we are in a society that wants to beg you to be negative. It wants to beg you to believe that you are nothing but the pile of anxiety that they keep telling you are, instead of telling you you are better than the anxiety. You can get past this. There are things that you can do. You are not the anxiety. You may have it, but quit defining yourself by things like that. We need to think on, ponder, and park our minds on constructive thoughts, not destructive thoughts. Thoughts that build up, not thoughts that tear down. Thoughts that breathe life. Breathe life, not drain the freaking life out of you, guys. My good, yeah, Lee's so funny. Look at your bald husband. Should remind you have hair. I know, baby. I do. You know me. I just get all caught up. I know. Quit letting the life be drained out of you and breathe life into your life, into others. Thoughts that lead to goodness and not anxiety. So here are three questions, okay? 3 questions we do well to ask ourselves when you are having these moments, okay? Listen. Did somebody actually say this, or am I assuming they are thinking it? If they actually said it, deal with it then. If I'm assuming it, that's unfair to them and unnecessarily damaging to me. Instead of staying anxious, I need to seek truth by seeking God and asking him for peace. And you know I have to do that when I get all caught up with something that's going on. I have to say, God, I'm going to leave this right here at your feet. I'm going to leave this right here at your feet. I'm not going to worry about this, God, because this is not something I can fix. I don't even know what's true, but let me be clear, God. Let me be clear. I don't want to deal with this because this is stopping me from living my best life. So you give it to him. Yeah, Kamini, absolutely. Thank God for the things He's already blessed you with and for the things you need, and let go of the things you want. Whoo! That is powerful, girl. That is powerful. I love that. Instead of staying anxious, okay, we need to seek the truth by seeking God. Do not be anxious about anything. He didn't say except this, and this. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, when you're feeling it, pray. Can I tell you how many times driving and it's raining and I'm out there door dashing and I feel it come on, and sometimes I don't even say anything to Lee, but I do talk to God here and I say, God, I know you know I am feeling this. I know you know where this is coming from. It is the symptoms. It's like PTSD, but God, I don't want it to rule me. So I'm going to give this to you, and then I'll breathe. And then I'll start talking to Lee about something and we'll be in conversation. And normally within a few minutes, it will at least be endurable, right? But I have to ask him. Here's another question. Have I been actively engaging with truth lately? The more we read God's truth and let the truth fill our mind, the less time we'll spend contemplating untruths. When you decide that you are going to be powerful with what you do know, with what you are sure of, with the positive, do you realize that the negative, then you just leave it a small place? You just leave it in a small place. Yeah, yeah. That's what you need to do. You just need to leave it in a small place. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. Whew. Are certain situations or friendships fueling my insecurities? Let's talk about this. Are certain situations or friendships, family too, let's get real, feeding my insecurity? If so, maybe you need to take a break from these for a season. I don't care if they get offended. I'm just going to talk about this. You got somebody, you're like, I don't know, this person never has anything positive to say. They're always telling me how I can make everything right. They're always trying to fix me. They're always trying to ask me questions that make me feel like I have to defend myself. I don't understand. But this person's my best friend. This person's my aunt. This person's my sister. This person's my mom. This person is my leader at work. This person is... And I'm sitting here thinking, it doesn't matter if they're supposed to love you the right way. That doesn't guarantee you that they're going to. And if they are promoting the insecurity, if they are promoting the anxiety, if they're promoting the untruths, if they're promoting you doubting yourself, I'm not telling you to lock them completely out of your life. That's not what I'm telling you. But sometimes you have to maybe take a break. Maybe that friend was good for you back then. But maybe where you're at now, or where your growth is trying to happen, that person, but you understand, Mom, they've been my friend since I was 6 years old. Some people are like a tree. Some people are like the leaves on the tree. Oh, they're there and you have a good time, and you know what, you can celebrate and you can party with them or whatever that may be. And then as soon as the cool weather comes, the leaves let go. The leaves let go and they blow away and it dies. They're there for a season. And then you have the branches on the tree, right? You have the branches. And the branches are great. They're great. They're stronger. They've been there a long time, right? And then something happens in your life and you feel yourself out on the edge of that branch, just trying to balance yourself and needing the support from that person. And the branch breaks. They were great during that time. And then you have friends that down in the dirt are the roots, the part that keeps you going, the part that soaks up the amount of water it needs, the part that gets the minerals and makes that the new leaves show up. Hi, Jeff. Love you too. Then there are those people that, yes, they are your people. And for me, that is Christ. That is Jesus, and it's my husband, who is, no matter what, not trying to change me. God doesn't make mistakes. I have some quirks. I have some things that people may not like this, like speaking the truth. Some people hate it when I get on here and speak the truth because it hits them between the eyes. But the truth of the matter is, my root is in the Lord, and that's the one person who never walks away from me. Now, I may walk away from him, but he is always there. Quit thinking that because somebody has the same DNA as you, that you're supposed to take their abuse all the time, that they can step on your neck whenever they want to, that they can treat you like you are nobody important because, hey, they're family. That's baloney. That's baloney. DNA doesn't do it, and sometimes those people are the worst abusers. If you have good ones, hold on to them. But not everybody does. And I got to tell you, there's always a couple in the family. You know what I'm saying? There's always a couple in the family. It doesn't mean you have to cut them out. But you can love them from over there. Don't let somebody try to make you feel small and insignificant, or like you can't be more than they see, because you can be so much more than they see. And maybe their problem is that you just might prove them wrong. And you will be better, and you will be less anxious, and you will find more positive, and you will let go of it. Quit borrowing trouble. Quit borrowing trouble. Quit worrying about what can happen and start dealing with the joy of what is happening right now. Oh my goodness, people. We are our worst enemies sometimes. Y'all know it. And I got about 3 more minutes here, and I'm going to tell you. You can make all the decisions. You are allowed to be positive. And if you're with somebody who's always bringing up the negative, that they never talk about what's good in their job, but they always talk what's bad in their job. They never talk about what's good about their husband, but they always want to talk about what's bad about their husband. When they don't ever want to celebrate life. My group sometimes, for my Avon people, there are people who bring negative. I can tell you when Lee goes, we got a post going on and onward. And I immediately am like, there are about 15 people that I know who's starting it. Or let's put it this way, it's an innocent post. It's an innocent post, but here come the negative Nellies. Here they come. Let me tell you, let me jump on that negative train. She just gave me some fuel. I'm going to throw that fuel on there and we're going to flame this. Those people aren't good for you. Don't listen to those people. I have a motto. That motto is onward, no matter what. Not onward when it's easy, because it's not. Not onward when it feels good, because it doesn't always feel good. Not onward when it's not scary, because sometimes it's really scary. Onward, no matter what. You use your prepositions in life. You figure out how to go through it, how to go over it, how to go around it, how to go under it. But one thing's for sure, I'm not staying in the negative. I'm not staying in the poor, poor, pitiful me. It's okay to visit. Don't unpack there. Don't live there. Because you are missing the blessing that could be coming into your life because you're letting somebody else rule who you're going to be. Somebody tells you you're not good enough, treat them like a leaf, baby. Treat them like a leaf. Let them go. Somebody who makes you feel like you're not good enough, your kids aren't good enough, that you're not good, let them go. Let them go. Oh, my goodness. Sometimes life doesn't take you where you think it's going to. But you know the problem? The problem is you're not seeing the blessing. It's not there yet for you to see. But if you keep going and you keep walking, doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it means that when you get to the end of that part of your journey, you're going to see where you came from. You're going to see the valleys you came out of. You're going to see the mountain you just climbed when there was no oxygen there to take another breath, but you got there, baby. Hold those arms up and say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. That's my whole life. My whole life. I would love to tell you my life has been good and my life has been easy. My gosh, people, I lost my mama when she was 44. I was 16 years old when my mom died a dreadful death that I had to take care of her while she was dying. My senior year. I was so angry with God. I didn't want any part of a God because, see, the people at my church were saying that was God's will, and I didn't want to be part of a God who would do that to my mom. And the truth of the matter is, God didn't do that to my mom. God received my mom. When my mom's poor body could not battle that cancer, God opened his arms up and he healed her, just like everybody asked. He just received her into his arms, just like my brother Mike. Mike had all kinds of issues, all kinds of problems. But when he couldn't do it anymore, God just received him. So see, he did answer my prayer. Because when I said, God, please heal her or take her home, he knew her body couldn't handle it, and he took her home. It's easy for me to talk about it now, but back then, I was a hot mess. And I let that hot mess affect my kids and people in my life, and I became a people pleaser at my own destruction. And then God opened my eyes. And he did that through Avon, showing me that I had so much more to offer and that there were so many people who needed to hear messages like this. So when you wonder why, this is why. Why is my journey? Why has it been so hard? Why is it still hard sometimes? Because what you learn from me, what you hear from me, if I hadn't gone through it, I couldn't talk to you about it. I couldn't tell you that if I made it through it, you can too. I love you. I hope this has helped. Happy Halloween. Go celebrate with the kiddos tonight. I'm going to be music going on. I'm going to be playing Christmas music at the Halloween thing. I'm so weird. I just getting them all in the mood for Christmas, right? Giving out candy, eating some homemade shrimp burgers. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy it. Don't say, I had to go buy that candy. I found myself there yesterday. Candy's so expensive. Everything's so expensive these days. But do you know the joy of that? When those kids show up in the costumes and I'm taking the pictures and I realize I did that with my kids. And every stinking dollar that Leah and I paid for that candy, it's going to give us the joy of seeing the kids in the neighborhood tonight. Count your blessings, not your toxic episodes. Let them go and claim your positive thoughts. You deserve it. God wants you to have that, and you will be so much happier with it. Have a great rest of your week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.